The PlayStation Store January sale keeps on moving, and in this video we're going to be taking a look at $5 deals in the January sale. This is PlayStation's biggest annual sale they do on the PlayStation Store, and I have 4 different videos about this sale up on the channel, so check those out in the link in the description down below. Let's have a look at the $5 deals. Hey, if you're a new viewer of the channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button down below. I make new videos about PlayStation every single day, so hit the subscribe button so you can stay up to date. Like with all these videos, this isn't always the cheapest price that these games have been, but more just a recommendation of games you can pick up in a particular price point. This video being $5 games. First game on the list is the Hotline Miami Collection. Now, if you haven't heard of this game before, on the offset it may look like an old school top-down shooter game, but it's actually a really fun retro style tactical, I guess, arcade game to a degree. Arcade shooter game to a degree. It's got a really strong narrative to it as well, which you probably wouldn't expect from this. In this package, you actually get Hotline Miami 1 and 2 for the discounted price, which is an awesome deal. These games are tough as nails, they're brutally hard, but the fun loop about them is that you have to kind of figure out how to complete each map perfectly. You have to kind of go into the house and kill each of the different people to complete a mission. And it's almost a puzzle game in that aspect where you have to get timing perfectly, aim perfect, and figure out which way to execute the different people in the building. And once you pull it all together and do it like flawlessly, it is a very satisfying thing to pull off. Second, we have Dirt 4. This is an arcade racing series that's been ongoing for a while now, but probably only came on my radar over the past couple of years. Dirt is a very interesting game because it takes a lot of sim type stuff from rally car racing, but it also takes a lot of arcadey stuff and leans it way more into the arcade, but still keeping itself grounded enough that it's not a Need for Speed or a Burnout style game. So it kind of sits in this weird space between sim and arcade, obviously heavy skewing towards that direction. Game's got a really cool soundtrack. It's got a lot of modes and a lot of content in this game as well. Ton of cars to drive. If you're into dirt style racing, rally car racing, rally cross racing, any of that sort of stuff, you're going to enjoy this game. Actually, to be honest, if you're into any sort of arcade racing game, I think you're going to have a good time with this one. I had a blast with Dirt 4, and I'm having a blast with Dirt 5 now on the PlayStation 5 as well. Homefront Revolution. This game was very poorly received when it originally launched, which was actually kind of disappointing considering how good the original Homefront game was. It was just a little bit undercooked. Homefront Revolution kind of does everything wrong, but if you're looking for a cheap first-person shooter, this one could be worth your time. Remember, it's pretty rough though. It did receive poor reviews, but in that $5 price point, I think it's okay and I think it's worth your time. Bloodstained Curse of the Moon. This is the 2D Metroidvania style prequel game that was supposed to come out before Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. The funny part about it is that Curse of the Moon is based on Castlevania 3, Ritual of the Night, obviously Symphony of the Night, and Curse of the Moon actually ended up being a lot better than the whole Bloodstained game series. It's the point where they made a sequel to this game, which is on the $10 list of games. $5. This game is awesome. If you like Castlevania games or 2D Metroidvania style games, then you're going to love this one. I'd be shocked if you haven't already checked it out because it is normally quite discounted. Great price for this game. Highly recommend checking it out. Really fun Metroidvania style game to check out. And actually probably a good one to get you into that series of games if you haven't played one in the past as well. Donut County. This is a weird one. I don't really know how to describe this. I guess it's like a puzzle game. Think kind of like Untitled Goose Game. And it's sort of like in that same vein of just kind of wacky and weirdness. You play as a hole in the ground. You have to kind of suck up everything. Actually, it's probably a little bit more like Katamari, where you suck up everything and the hole gets bigger. And you kind of start with the small stuff and then you eventually get the bigger stuff until you've kind of absorbed everything. Really strange little, I guess, like puzzle adventure game. This narrative is actually quite funny as well. It's got a narrative with a couple of different characters who are sucked into the hole, discussing their escape and things like that. It's a funny and neat little experience. Good price for this one as well. Good platinum trophy on this one too. Next up, we have an FMV game, The Bunker. Now, there is another Wales Interactive FMV game on the other list I talked about, but on this one, we have The Bunker. This is their first game that they launched, and it's essentially a narrative, it's a point-and-click sort of narrative game, but with full motion video, so an actor playing the role of the character on screen. Neat concept for a game that pretty much no other developers do, except for Wales, maybe a couple of other ones in the past, but these days at least. And a really neat little puzzle adventure game here. You play as this character who's essentially locked in a bunker by himself, and you kind of play through his daily routine as he kind of progresses into insanity to a degree. The game also looks really creepy, but it's less creepy when you actually play it and experience it. There's a decent trophy list attached to this one as well, so if you look for an easy platinum, this one is a good one to check out. If you're after something that's got more bang for your buck, Arcania is a massive open world RPG style game. This game is pretty rough. It came out on the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360, so it's not a game that I would personally highly recommend checking out in on its own. I think it's a rough-ish RPG experience. The remaster was pretty good on the PlayStation 4 though. But in terms of value, bang for your buck, for $5, you're getting hundreds of hours worth of content in a game like this, being a massive sprawling RPG. As long as you go into it with the right mindset, knowing it's a budget, sort of PC style RPG, then I think you're going to have a decent enough experience with it. It is worth keeping in mind it's a remaster of a game that came out last generation. Keep that in mind and you'll probably have a really good time with it. Now I know the $5 deals may be a little bit lacking in this one. These are the higher priced $5 deals. In yesterday's video though, we looked at $2, $3 games, and those are actually some really decent deals in there. That price point probably has better quality titles than the $5 price point. So if you're on a budget and you're looking for cheaper games, I would recommend checking out that video because it's got a lot more content. There's a lot more content in there and a lot more really good content in there as well. So if you're a little bit more cost prohibited, then I would recommend checking that one out. Hopefully this video helped you out and gave you a couple of recommendations of games that you might want to pick up through this sale. Don't forget we have the $10 deals video, the $3 deals video, and also the easiest platinums video on the channel too. So check those out if you're looking for some more recommendations for games to pick up in the January sale. Anyway, I hope this was helpful for you. If it was, give it a thumbs up. If it wasn't, give it a thumbs down, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye for now.